Welcome back to the special episode of Future Female Forward as we mark International Women's Day. If you have to be, you have to be your own cheerleader. That was tennis legend Sania Mirza's message to young girls as she bids adieu to tennis after a glittering career. Mirza is a six-time doubles Grand Slam champion and she's called on young girls to develop a thick skin. I spoke with Sania in Dubai. This was her message to young aspiring girls and women. Listen in.
Biggest strength that you can have, belief in yourself. And if you're not your biggest cheerleader, God knows there's nobody else out there, because especially as young girls, and playing a sport, like I'm just trying to draw a parallel, anytime you try and start doing something new, you're more often told you cannot do something than you can. And that is just how it works. That's the nature that we live in and the society we live in. The minute you say, I want to do something outside, but what makes you think you can do it? Nobody's ever done it. I mean, yeah, nobody's ever been #1 in the world from our country, but I got there, So that is the belief that you need to have, that you are, how to become the best version of yourself, how to get the best out of yourself.
You're in the public eye, you're being scrutinized, you're being judged, you're being evaluated. Every single decision of yours on the court, off the court is up for discussion and national debate. How do you develop that thick skin where you say it's okay for me to make the choices that I'm making without seeking external validation?
Actually, at 36 today, I can tell you that it's a lot easier. But trust me, when you put a 16-year-old, that's when I first had my first tryst with media, and I'm like, oh my God, like all my friends are just worried about how to bunk school and meet boys in a coffee shop, and I'm here sitting in front of a press conference and they're asking me questions about world, and I'm like, what am I doing? It's very difficult. I'll tell you a story. Yesterday I was on a flight to Mumbai, and Harleen Diol, who's a 24-year-old cricketer, the Women's World Cup cricket team was coming back, and she was sitting right next to me. I actually didn't know her name. I knew she was a cricketer because I saw her, and she started talking to me. And she was so sweet and she was so nice, and she started asking me, just these questions, because I've also signed with a cricket league just now. So she was like, I'm so excited you're coming to cricket. And she was so young. And I said, bad luck, you guys lost, you had a solid tournament in the semi-final. And she was like, yeah, but the media, they were killing us. They were so after us. And she's like, it's been 4 days since they lost. And she was like, मैं अभी भी सोच रही हूँ, दीदी, पता नहीं, they're still talking about how badly we played. And I said, but if you're gonna take 4 days to get over a loss, Harleen, it's going to become very difficult for you. Like, trust me, you need to take a night and you need to get over it, because that's the only way athletes can work. So these are the kind of athletes, that's the pressure you feel when you're 24, where she's thinking about it for 4 days. She's sitting on a plane and she's like, I'm going for IPL now, but they're still, imagine I have to face the media. And it is something that all athletes deal with. And I think people sometimes forget that we are human. They forget that we feel emotion. We're in a high pressure job all the time. If you have a bad day, maybe you'll know about it, maybe your family will know. If we have a bad day, the entire world knows about it, and they write about it, and they have an opinion about it. And imagine dealing with that as a young 24-year-old, 22-year-old with that much spotlight on you. So you have no choice but to be thick-skinned, because if you let it get to you, you're not going to get there. I promise you, you're not going to get there, because you'll have multiple breakdowns on the way, and especially today with the way media is.
Well, keeping it real, Sania Mirza as always. And with that, it is time for us to wrap up this special broadcast of Future Female Forward. From all of us here on the team, thanks very much for watching.